Fine, how do you? Thank you.
Okay. So let's not waste our time in chit chats. So if you remember, we did this exercise last time, in which we saw answers of given by the Amanali, and in that we observed that how Amanali expanded on his answers. These were the techniques. Sometimes you explain your view by adding I think. Can you see this? I think here, and I think here. Similarly, and one I think here. And sometimes you give relevant examples, and here was the example part, if you see, and
Yeah.
so on. So we did this exercise last time, and now let's. There was another exercise on the coming slide that I left at that time. So now that was just a quick recap. Well, now there are some questions which you can say they relate to part 3 or section 3 of the speaking test. Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to ask you these questions, and I would like you to give me a detailed answer by expanding on your answer, by explaining your answers. Don't just say yes or no. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now, first of all, I'll ask one question from Abdurrahman, then from Shakil. So, do you
Yes, sir.
think it's more important to earn a large salary or to be happy in your job?
Okay. I think it is important to be happy in your job rather than earn a large salary, because money cannot buy money cannot buy happy, and it's not about money that makes someone happy.
Mhm.
Uh,
Money cannot buy happiness. You said money cannot buy happy, and I said that no,
my,
money cannot buy happiness.
okay, it's
Right.
happiness, huh?
So yeah, happiness. So you gave me an answer. Uh, it would have been much better answer if you would have given an example as well.
Yes.
For, like you could have said, for example, I've seen many people who just work day and night to earn money, but they never get time to enjoy themselves or enjoy their lives. So what use or what use of that money there could be for them if they are unable to enjoy their lives, right?
Okay.
Okay, but overall it was fine. Just try to be more. You can say just try to explain a little bit more. Now, Shakil, it's your turn.
Yes, sir.
Do you think some people spend too much time on their computers these days?
Yes, sir, it's true. Some people spend more time on computers these days because, hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes, good, good.
Yes, sir. Because some people are busy in their routine office works. They were done on computers, and some people are busy on social media to interact with other people's.
Okay, now first of all, don't use s with people. You have used peoples all the time.
People's, yes, sir.
No. That is only people, right?
People, yes, sir.
People is plural. Okay, this is one
Yes, sir.
thing. Second thing, you have some problems in your grammar. So try to
Yes, sir.
go through those grammar part as early as possible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then
Sure.
let me give you. I can just let me give you some ideas about this question. We can say that yes, nowadays I think some people, in fact, many of people spend a lot of time on their on computers. Now, one more thing, sorry, one more observation in your
Yes.
answer, Shkil. You said,
Yes,
you
sir.
repeated these words. Some people spend too much
Yes,
time
sir.
computers these days.
Yes, sir.
Abdurrahman, did you observe it?
Yes, sir.
He was using, so just try to, Shakil, try to paraphrase this part. How will you do it? Just try it.
Few people
Mm-hmm.
uh, engage, sir, instead of spend.
Okay, just give me a sentence.
Um, few people's
No, don't say people's. It's people.
people. So sorry, sir. Some people engage uh, in office works to done through computers,
No, no,
and
no,
they
no, no,
were.
no, 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 no. Actually, your grammar is too weak. Okay, I'll handle this part later, right? So, Abdurrahman, can you do it, please? Can you paraphrase it?
Okay, all the question using some people.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
this question. Hmm?
we can say that uh, spend too much time. So we can say that people use too much or use the or overuse in the time
Mhm.
spent to
No,
use too
you
much.
too much. Again, same word. Okay, if I say computers have become uh, a basic requirement these days for many people.
Hmm?
Computers have become a fundamental or a very important requirement for many people. How about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is another way of
Okay.
saying the same thing. Like then you can explain your answer by giving examples. Okay, now I'm giving you the answer. Let's say you could have said, well, computers have become a basic requirement for many people, and this and you know they are bound to use computers for most of their times, even if either in their work or for their studies or even for entertainment. Everything has shifted onto the computers now. Okay,
Okay.
people are dependent on these machines for their work, for their studies, and even for their communication.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now Abdurrahman, it's your turn. Do you think the government should try to control the internet, or should people be able to write whatever they want?
Okay. Yes, I do. I think it is the responsibility of the government uh, to limit the usage of internet,
Mhm.
because giving freedom to people uh, can create social conflicts. For example, some in societies where there is a difference in region and or culture, um, some people may use it as a way to create a conflict among the
Well done, well
societies.
done. Your main theme was perfectly fine. Well done. First of all, I'm glad that you understood this question. Many of the students, they fail to understand what it is. Okay, so you
Hmm.
understood it very well. So you can say, well, there are two different views about imposing any restrictions on the use of computers or internet. Some say that it is the fundamental right of every person to have a freedom of speech. But on the other hand, we just can't, set everything so free that this freedom starts creating problem for others.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you can give the same example you did, right? That's very good. That's very good. Okay, now Shakil, it's your turn.
Fourth, sir. Yes, sir.
Pollution is a problem in many countries. What do you think governments can do about it?
Yes, sir. It is a major issue in various countries, and governments may announce subsidies to buy electronics cars, and announce renewable energies to reduce pollution in to save our environment.
Mhm. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now this kind of question is again the same kind of question which I called in the first class, if you remember. If you were there, I'm not sure. Abdurrahman was there.
Yes.
I called these kind of questions as very broader questions. There are a number
Yes,
of
sir.
ways governments can, there are a number of steps that governments can take, right? So
Yes,
a
sir.
better way of answering this question could be categorization.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The first thing is through first category, you can name as educating people, educating the
Educating.
public, okay, about how to reduce the pollution individually. For example,
Yes,
they
sir.
can grow plants in their homes, and they can have good cars, car maintenance, regular car maintenance routines. Similarly, they must be encouraged to use items which are recyclable.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then second category is government shall take, or you can say the government must facilitate people by introducing such laws which punishes actually those who create pollution. Okay, and as
Yes,
moreover,
sir.
government should also create facilities such as recyclable collection of sorry, collection of recyclable material. Governments can create a system for the collection of recyclable materials. Similarly, government can put some check on industrialization factors, and where they can declare some zones for industrialization instead of bringing all the industry into the major cities, right?
Yes,
Similarly,
sir.
then plants are there, and blah blah. There are too many things governments can do. But main factor
Yes.
was categorization. One first sector was of educating the people, and
Educating people.
second category was of facilitating them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Abdurrahman, got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you think newspapers and books will eventually disappear?
I don't think so. I don't think newspapers and books will not be available. Um, will not be available for maybe for the next years to come, because some people may actually prefer to use newspapers as source of information,
Mhm.
and also books may some people may actually also read to read books rather than using internet.
Mhm.
So I think as long as there is a segment of society or group society that that prefers to use these two things as a source of information, or a source of knowledge,
Very good.
they will be also there forever.
Very good. Very good. And you can also add one sentence like it is quite possible that medium of using books and newspapers may switch to e-version, electronic version of the books, but books will remain there. Getting it?
Okay.
Okay. But
Yes.
more or less your answer was correct. So that was all about section 3. But if you remember, if you see, sorry, if you see, not all about, actually, there are some more topics I'll discuss here. Uh, if you see the difficulty level of these questions, it's quite higher than the questions which were asked to you in the first part, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, these questions are so general in nature that you can talk about them, in any way. You can, for this, like newspapers and books, you can talk about the interest level of people reading the books and reading the newspaper. This is one aspect. Nowadays, people, just watch television programs instead of reading the newspaper.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, they get information from movies, from talk shows, from, maybe from dramas, instead of reading the books. So interest level is one dimension. You can talk on that. Second, dimension is the hard or printed version of newspapers and books versus the electronic version.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and third, the third dimension is the shift or the cultural change or the change in habits of the people, as Abdurrahman pointed out, that there will always be a segment of society, it is perceived, it is my assessment as well, there will always be segment of society who will be you know, there to buy books and read books. Okay,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
right. So these common, you know, these questions are so common or so general in nature that, you know, you can talk on any of the dimensions of that topic. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are two ways, or two these, you can say there are two points in that in these questions. First, they are difficult. Yes, that's fine, but at the same time, they are general in nature. So, you know,
Yes,
you can talk about any of the dimensions of the given topic. So now let's move forward and see how to agree and disagree. Sometimes the examiner will give you an opinion and then ask, would you agree with that? Now,
yes, sir.
remember one thing. Here, you know, I have been telling you this point right from the first lecture of speaking test, that this is not a job interview, and this is not
Yes, sir.
a university degree program, right? This is a
Yes, sir.
language test. So if I ask
Yes, sir.
you something that would you agree or disagree, in this particular case, agreeing or disagreeing doesn't matter at all. If Abdurrahman
Yes, sir.
agrees, he may get 9 band. And if Shakil disagrees, even then he may also get 9 band.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can
Okay, sir.
agree or disagree, but your answer must be, you know, a strong answer for that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, don't worry what examiner thinks. Okay, they
Yes.
are not judging your opinion; they are just judging your language.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's see. Here are some words. These are the phrases you can use in your you know, speaking test to strongly agree, to disagree to some extent, neither agree nor disagree, agree to some extent, and
Yes, sir.
strongly agree. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now, oh, not at all, what do you think? Is this
Strongly.
person agreeing or disagreeing, strongly disagree, maybe, or partially disagree, or what?
Strongly, I think. Strongly.
Strongly disagree,
Strongly.
right? Strongly disagree, yes. Oh, no, not at all. So you can also say like that, right? Next, well,
Yes.
I think there are valid points for the both, or for both.
Sir, neither agree nor disagree,
Nor
sir.
disagree. Abdurrahman, fine.
Neither agree nor disagree, sir.
Yeah, okay. Shakil, that's okay. Abdurrahman, is that okay?
Uh, yeah. I
Okay,
agree.
number 2 here. Right. Then I totally agree with that.
Agree.
Sir, strongly agree.
Yeah,
Strongly.
strongly agree. Good. Then I think I would probably have to say no.
Disagree to some extent, sir.
Okay, I can put it here in in strongly
Strong.
disagree as well, and in disagree to some extent as well. Why? The person is giving a clear no. That is fine. So this
Yes,
shows
sir.
clear no means strongly disagree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but whatever is written before that, this is actually
Probably.
diluting the situation. It is making this no to some extent, it is making this no as politer no, right? A polite
Okay.
version of
Yes,
saying
sir.
no. I think I would probably have to say no. So you
Yes,
see,
sir.
if you talk about no, straight no, it means strongly disagree. But this polite language actually, you know, creates some doubts. So you can put it here as well. Clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So to a certain extent, yes.
Agree to some extent.
Agree to some
Agree to
extent, sir.
some extent, right? Then I completely disagree. So that is clear. Number 6,
Strongly
Yes.
disagree, sir. Yes,
strongly
sir.
disagree. I can see your point, but
But
Is the I can see your point. Neither. Disagree to some extent.
Disagree to some extent or agree to some extent?
Yeah.
Both of them, right? Both of them.
Yes, sir.
Like if I ask you, Abdurrahman tells me, sir, I guess studying in your own country is better than going abroad. So because and he gives me some points, so I would say, well, I can see your point. That's fine, but means I'm going to disagree now to some extent, right? But this part, I can see your point. It means agree to some extent.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I think that's absolutely right.
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree,
Strongly
sir.
agree. Very good. Actually, I think it depends on the situation, country, or person.
Neither agree.
Neither agree nor
agree,
disagree,
nor
right?
disagree.
It seems to me that there are two sides to consider.
Neither agree.
Two sides.
Okay, fine. Neither agree nor disagree. So just memorize these phrases. These will help you to express your opinion, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the answers. I think I would probably have to say no. I can see your point, but so these are disagree to some extent.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I move
Yes, sir.
on?
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I would give you some statements and you will tell me, do you agree, partially disagree, or what?
Yes,
With
sir.
maybe one liner explanation as well. Okay.
Okay.
So video
Yes, sir.
games in general are a lot more violent nowadays. What do you think, Abdurrahman? Do you agree with it?
Okay. Well, it depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because sometimes if a mature people are playing video games,
Mm-hmm.
they it will be like an enjoyment, and it will not cause any violence. But if small boys or immature boys they play, they may cause conflict and end up fighting each other.
Okay.
So it depends on.
Don't you think your answer is more about the effects of video games?
Hmm?
Don't you think your
Effect.
effects? Yeah, you whatever you have told me is about effects of internet of video games. No,
Okay.
like you are telling me that if a mature person is playing one video game, he or she will not, be involved in violence. But if a kid is, playing the same video game, he or she may
Mm.
get involved in violence. So these are the effects of, video games. But video games in itself are violent or not? What do you think?
Okay. Okay.
You see, for example, I can say video games. Yes, I agree with it. What I have observed that majority of video games are either based on some, fiction. Sorry, some movie, some maybe
Okay.
fighting characters of some movies, and there are a lot of fights either with use of weapons, or there are some hand fights in most of the video games. In most of the
Mm.
video games, you are some weapons are involved or some physical fights are involved.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So yes, and that means they are violent games. what abdurrahman
Exactly.
told what Abdurrahman told was effect of those violent games.
Exactly.
Okay, so now be careful about what is being asked. Now people should be made to retire earlier so that young people have a better chance of getting a job. What do you think, Shakil?
Yeah, yes, I completely agree with this statement.
Mm-hmm.
Because unemployment rate is very high.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If I go with your answer, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
What retired people would do then? Like I am, I retired too early. So what should I do now? I'm also
So,
unemployed, right?
in my viewpoint, retired people are also getting money from government,
So
and they
that
will
means
manage their life.
no, that means a burden on the government then, right? Actually, look,
Yes, sir.
Shakil, look, one thing here. Let me
Yes, sir.
clarify one thing. I'm not going against your opinion at the moment.
Yes.
I'm just
Yes,
trying
sir.
to create a discussion so that
Yes, sir.
you can practice yourself, right? So, okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will just counter
Yes.
agree. Right? Sorry, I'll give a counter agree argument to all whatever you say. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you're telling me, let's say, Abdurrahman, I want your comment on this as well. Let's say there were 5 people working, giving some input to the society, right? And there were 5 people waiting for the job.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what I did, I just retired them. Now they are not giving any input to the society, and they are just drawing their pension now. And I have, made 5 people unemployed and I'm giving them pension. And instead of them, I have given jobs to 5 more people. So what's the change? Has anything changed? Previously, 5 people were working, 5 are waiting. Now these 5 are not working, they are waiting, and these 5 are working.
Okay.
So what's the use of it? Instead, I'm paying them pension as well now. What do you think? Is it a viable solution?
So may I explain, sir?
Yeah, sure.
So in my viewpoint, these 5 peoples will
People, not
do
peoples.
people will do their business and create job for other peoples.
Other people again.
And
So
they
why
will
why
they
why
will they
why
will create new.
no, then why these 5 can't start a business right away?
So
Instead of
maybe
instead of giving them
we have
pension,
not.
instead
Yes,
of
sir.
giving them pension, I can give them a loan kind of thing
Yes, sir.
to start their business. They are young, they are energetic. Why a person with let's say 20 years of job experience would switch to business now? Now he has
Yes, sir.
gained maximum of experience, and now you can get benefit of his experience or her experience. So anyways, it was a good discussion, right? Here my point was just to keep talking, right?
Sir, what is right option for this statement?
No, both of them are right.
Yes,
You can
sir.
agree, you can disagree, there's no harm in it. You know
Yes, sir.
what I said, whatever you will say, I will counter, I will
Yes, sir.
counter your argument,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
just to create discussion,
Okay, sir.
right? Just to create discussion.
Yes, sir.
Now, number
Yes,
three,
sir.
Abdurrahman, this question is very interesting. Let's see if you can answer it or not. Robots will play a more important role in our lives in the future. Do you agree?
Okay. To a certain extent, I can say I I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because as we see that robots are playing an important, they are just play an important aspect in our life is when it comes into like machines that are used to do or to do some activities that a normal human being cannot do,
Mm-hmm. Lifting weights.
like
Yeah, lifting weights. And,
lifting a heavy, lifting a heavyweight objects, and delivering maybe medicines into very remote areas where
very remote area. Fine.
otherwise it would
Mm-hmm.
have taken
Okay.
a lot of time. But in other aspects, if you see it,
Uh-huh.
you can say that it can cause it
Sorry. Come again?
It can contribute to the rate of an increase and an increased rate of
Unemployment.
unemployment in the communities. But also we can say that it can also create some new opportunities of
Okay,
job opportunities.
sorry, Abdurrahman, your voice is breaking somehow. But more or less, I got what you said. Look, you went off topic a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
What was the question? Robots will play a more important role.
Okay.
Yes or no? So you said yes to some extent.
Mm.
Okay. Up till this point, your
Okay.
answer was correct. But then you got lost in your explanation.
Okay.
It went out of control, actually. It was difficult for you to wind up the point. Okay. So
I didn't consider about that future. I didn't see about that one of future.
you see, in future.
Yes, I didn't see it.
Okay. Now let me just explain something about this question. Why I said this is
Okay.
very interesting question. About 90% or 95% of my students, when I ask them, robots will play a more important role in our lives in the future, their
Yes, sir.
answer is something like, well, sir, whatever, whatever or how good quality robots we produce, still, they cannot replace human minds.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in my opinion, robots can never replace human minds or
Yes.
humans for that matter. So humans will always be there. Okay. Now, this is the answer I get from 95% of the students. If
Yes,
you
sir.
have the same answer in your mind, then you are also from those 95% people.
Okay.
Okay, but this is not the correct answer. Why? I have not asked you that robots will replace the humans in future.
Yes, sir.
I have asked you that robots will play a more important role in our lives.
In
That
future.
means whatever role they are playing today in 2018, they will be playing a more important role in let's say 2030.
Yes.
I'm not saying that they will replace humans, but that I'm sure about you can say keeping in view the current trend. I'm sure about that they will be involved in more activities than present. Like
Okay.
Yes, sir.
presently, robots are used in a very limited range, and even only in, you can say, very advanced countries.
Okay.
But slowly and gradually,
Yes, sir.
they will ultimately be used in many of the underdeveloped countries as well, or developing
Yes,
countries
sir.
as well. For example, drones are
Yes.
one of those one of the examples of robots. Drones.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now it is being used in many of the developing countries as well. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so here, what was my point? My point was, this question is asking you that the role of robots will be more than what it is in the present. It will be more in future than present is. Okay,
Yes.
you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now we don't do enough to protect the environment. Again, environment, Shakil.
Yes, sir. So I strongly agree with this statement.
Mm-hmm,
Um, in context of Pakistan, where I am currently living,
mm-hmm,
um, environment situation is not good
mm-hmm,
because pollution is increased day by day due to heavy traffic in cities and industries, due to industries
Industrial
and
growth. Industrial growth is
industrial growth and production of electricity, which is main cause of Pakistan. Uh,
pollution in Pakistan,
and
right?
pollution in Pakistan,
Uh-huh.
and people are shifted from to urban areas, sir.
Okay.
and
So
and
now, just hold on here. Abdurrahman, can you tell
yes,
me
sir.
what's wrong apart from the grammatical mistakes? What's wrong with the answer? Technically, what's wrong with the answer?
You know, I cannot hear his voice well. There is some little interruptions.
Okay,
I was not
maybe
following.
that is because of your internet then. Well, there are two. He is talking about that in my country, pollution has increased because of heavy traffic, because of maybe coal, electric generation through coal and through petroleum, and more and more people are shifting towards bigger cities and so on. So he was talking on pollution, right? Now,
Yeah,
Abdurrahman and Shakil, look,
Yes, sir.
your answer was talking only about pollution, but environment,
okay.
protecting the environment doesn't mean that you just control pollution. What about
Yes,
what
sir.
about temperatures?
Yes, sir.
What about resources that we are using, the natural resources that we are consuming day by day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, environment
Yes,
means
sir.
a bigger thing. Pollution is
Yes, sir.
one of the
One of the parts, sir.
sources of spoiling the environment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first of all,
Yes, sir.
my question was a broader question, but you focused
Yes, sir.
only on pollution.
Pollution. Yes, sir.
Second thing, I asked you, we don't do enough to protect environment. You
Yes, sir.
didn't talk about what we do or what we don't to protect the
Yes, sir.
environment.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
like here the answer should have covered that. Well, yes, I agree to some extent. Somehow, unfortunately, all of us, we look towards government and sometimes toward NGOs, that they will
Yes,
come
sir.
and they will protect our environment. But on personal level, we don't do any efforts to safeguard the environment.
Yes, sir.
So that was about we don't do enough. You
Okay.
didn't talk
Yes, sir.
about this point at all.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everyone should take some sort of further education. What do you think, Abdurrahman? Or are you tired of the education now?
Right. Okay. Everyone should take some. Okay. I think it depends on the situation of people. You know, not everyone can avoid to do and take
And
some.
avoid is wrong.
Yeah, and avoid to
No,
pay for further education.
avoid, not avoid, afford.
Can afford.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so,
Yes.
okay, you can afford to pay for education.
Mhm.
Because it is in some countries the education is actually expensive.
Very expensive, right?
It-
Okay.
yeah,
And
expensive.
other reason could be that, well, people have to earn as well, and just deliver to the society and therefore to their country after getting education. So it is not possible, probably not possible, to have a formal education all the time. However, in my opinion, to stay in the market and to stay abreast with the changes in the science and technology and in changes in various fields, it is very important for everyone to stay to upgrade his knowledge or her knowledge.
Yes, sir.
But formal education is different thing. Updating your knowledge is a different thing.